Good morning. My name is Gregory Landau. I'm one of the co-founders of Regen Network, and I'm the CEO of R&D Incorporated, Regen Network Development Incorporated, which is currently the lead maintainer of the Cosmos SDK, the most used public proof-of-stake blockchain application framework in the world, securing over $150 billion worth of value, and we're also the Genesis organization and the the lead or core developers for Regen Ledger. Regen Ledger is a sovereign proof of stake blockchain dedicated to ecological claims, data, and assets, and we're building a marketplace that allows disintermediated and permissionless trading of ecological assets that is linked with the claims and Oracle process to mint those assets. So all sort of a full stack Web3 approach to creating the type of market experience with all of the tools needed to bring together land stewards who are stewarding landscapes for regenerative outcomes like carbon sequestration, with scientists and verifiers, as well as with the purchasers. So I want to take a step back and just talk at a broad level around the metaverse, energy usage, sustainability, and what we're doing at Regen Network to help transform and leverage technology to be a force for planetary regeneration, which is some of the language that we like to use. So, number one, I'd just like to note that we really need to move beyond sustainable. If we're sustaining the status quo, we're sustaining an economic system that is rapidly degrading the planet. If we're sustaining things as they are, we're sustaining a world that's tipping into chaos. So we need to move beyond sustainability and into active regeneration of our ecosystems. And that's a core part of our mission at Regen Network. We started out with the aim back in 2017 when we founded Regen Network and started really working on this problem to be able to verify ecological state changes like regeneration, could also be used for ecological state changes like degeneration, and reward those. And over time, we've iterated to be focused very firmly at the moment on the voluntary carbon markets. Back in 2018 and 2019, we developed from beginning to end groundbreaking methodology for monitoring soil organic carbon and deployed the largest soil carbon credit purchase at that time in history. Microsoft purchased those credits to help offset its energy footprint as a net zero pledging corporate. So that reminds me that it would be useful probably to talk at this point about net zero pledges and really what's happening to drive this really aggressive shift in our global economy towards offsetting. And then I'm going to shift into NFTs and the difference between proof of stake and proof of work and other consensus algorithms, and try to wrap it all together in what we're doing here at Regen Network. So taking a step back, let's talk about why are people so interested, why are corporates so interested in the NFT space? NFTs are a really fantastic way to represent really any arbitrary information as essentially a bearer bond that you can program in certain rights or even certain responsibilities. In our case, we essentially use a fractional NFT model to allow people to mint vintages of ecosystem service credits like carbon credits. So you can imagine a farmer and a set of scientists. The farmer is practicing certain regenerative land use practices, like say agroforestry, for instance, and a set of scientists is monitoring that. And every year there's a vintage which is minted, which represents, according to a particular methodology of data collection and a particular model, the carbon outcome that farm has achieved. And that's minted as as a credit batch according to a credit class. So we use what essentially is a fractional NFT system, although this is sort of a different language and terminology and even an architectural approach within the Cosmos ecosystem. But you can conceptualize it as an NFT in order to link real world outcomes to their digital representation. And then those fractional NFTs, what we would call eco credits, are able to then be sorted by tag, so that you could, for instance, say, hey, I'd like to bundle all of the eco credits that represent 1 ton of agroforestry produced carbon into the agroforestry ton pool. That can all be sorted into what we call a basket, and then shifted from the sort of fractional NFT model that we have for our credit classes into interblockchain communication ready token that can be sent to any blockchain anywhere else in the world. Some of the most exciting things happening with NFTs in the Regen network ecosystem include artists from Avatar and Star Wars creating beautiful dynamic NFTs that every time they're traded, the royalties, 100% of the royalties go straight to plant mangroves with the Regenerative Resources Company. This is a collaboration that also includes Chainlink, and it's really been exciting. And our friends over at 11 Yellow, it's really, really interesting. So fundraising, that's one of the core pieces. NFTs, as I mentioned, also essentially form the building block for how we represent real world assets like carbon credits. So you can bundle those two, and there's a whole nother generation there's a whole nother generation of NFT types that create access or privileges combined with the rights to do off-taking agreements. That is to say, you purchase this NFT, it may be art, it may be a token that gives you access to something, but also it has unique and exclusive rights, for instance, to a particular landscape's carbon credits that are being produced that can then potentially be resold, or in some models get bound up and held by that NFT. So there's lots of really cool and dynamic things happening in the NFT universe. The last thing that I'll share with everybody about some of the stuff that I'm very excited about is the work that's happening to create digital twins of specific landscapes that have regenerative activities taking place. In those landscapes, you can see the work that's being done. You can see the representation of the farm plan that is leading to these regenerative carbon outcomes. And those spaces can be plugged in so that through a portal, a gamer can be working in a multiplayer game, doing something, it could be a live action shooter, it could be, civilization, or they could be farming something, and they could actually go through a portal and then step into a digital twin of a real landscape that has dynamic and real-time information about the regenerative outcomes that are being achieved and funded. You can have galleries of art and NFTs. It can serve as an online marketplace for people to be buying NFTs that represent the wine that's being produced by the vineyard, or the maple syrup that's being produced by the forest, or the cacao that's being produced by the forest. So this sort of fusion of the virtual reality landscape into the physical reality landscape, all with the spirit of realigning our economic incentives with ecological health, is really some of the most exciting and vibrant conversations that we have in our day-to-day at Regen Network. So in summary, the last thing I actually want to talk about is just the amazing work that's happening at the Carbon Zero Project, which is allowing people through the Regen Network carbon marketplace, validators, and networks themselves to get robust emissions estimation, and then in an automated way offset all of their carbon emissions, and then get NFT certificate proof that that has all taken place. Now, that's been unfolding for quite a while. We've been working with experts to build the models. We've been doing early offsetting pilots for almost 18 months now, and we're working to wrap it all together so that there is a software development kit that basically creates this kind of seamless API integration where offsetting is automated into the very fabric of a protocol. So that's a quick whirlwind overview of everything that's happening over in our corner of the metaverse at Regen Network. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for your time, and let's do this.